welcome to Fred the Show. Thanks for joining us again here on WSPA Plus. We are talking about movies once again. We'll talk a little bit about everything that's going on the huge screens, those big productions, but we want to focus a lot today, and most of today, on not only the Reedy Film Festival, but we're also talking about the local movie making scene here, which is a lot more vast than you might think. I am joined today by Rhodes Farrell. He is the Reedy Reels Film Festival executive producer. It is a great gathering you have. It's in March every year, correct?
Yeah, it's been March, spring, around time. I think we've had a few in April just for a different weekend, but yeah, pretty much around that same time. So this next year coming up in 2026 is the March 20th. So tickets will go out in December, so be on the lookout.
That'll be something to look forward to, and there's a lot of movies that are probably being made right now or still are going to be made in the coming weeks and months to be ready for that. First of all, it's great to have you here. We're both big movie lovers, and let me ask you just first of all, where your love of movies came from. Do you remember a particular theater? Is there a particular movie that really sticks out?
No, my story is a little different than most people's. I kind of started in audio, so in high school we had a tech program that was audio, and doing that, I got into audio and video, and then last semester of college, I was like, oh, video, I can be the creator and the editor at the same time. That's awesome. So I just kind of pushed myself to do it after that as part of whatever job I had. And moving here in 2018, I was like, I'm going full-time into this. And so I just fell into love it that way. But I guess the first movie that really kind of got me into it was my brother kind of snuck me into an R-rated movie when I was 14, my 14th birthday, and that was The Matrix. And I was just, coming out, just trying to bend backwards and be really cool. I don't know. That was a fun one for me.
I want to go ahead and be very honest, because you said you sneaked into your first R-rated movie. I'm a little bit older. I'm a lot older. My first R-rated movie that I sneaked into, we bought tickets for, I can't even remember what, we sneaked into the original version of The Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds and everybody like that. And that was pretty eye-opening, and I guess I would have been 14 at the time, but let's not tell anybody about that. Well, let's talk about the love of movies, and I think one thing that we want to talk about before we get to the local movie scene, are you a big theater goer and see those so big blockbusters? I got to tell you, just last weekend, because my family and I were all fans of the show and the movies, we went to see the last Downton Abbey movie, Downton Abbey, the grand finale. Mm-hmm. And one thing that was really great to me, it was a sunny Saturday afternoon. There was this movie, there was The Conjuring, another horror movie, and then there was also this Japanese demon slayers that we knew nothing about. And the great thing was, on a college football sunny Saturday, that place was packed, which made me feel good just about people engaging in movies again.
Yeah, I think the theaters are still a great place to go hang out, but obviously streaming has taken over a little bit of that, especially for introverts. Although I would say with the number of seats that they have available, introverts might enjoy going to the movie theater. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, it's still a love of mine. I love going out and buying a bucket of popcorn, getting a Coke, sitting there, and just enjoying the movie and relaxing.
At the same time, though, when you look at the movies, we just came off the summer season, which I think box office-wise was about the thing. It's a lot of sequels and a lot of reboots and that kind of thing. There is the summer blockbuster, but do you feel, I know I do you feel that it's crowded out, what the studios are making now? We don't see a lot of comedies, for instance. Rom-coms are pretty much left to Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, it's basically budget is what it comes down to. So a big, large studio is going to have the budget to push a film out to be a blockbuster, whereas all these independent films or anything smaller is not going to have that same marketing pool. So it's up to film festivals or you're doing marketing on your own and stuff like that. So it's the big push for marketing, honestly.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about just the local film industry, because I don't think that people realize just how much independent movie making is going on in upstate South Carolina, even parts of western North Carolina, but I think the Greenville area is where you focus on. How many films are out there, and how many people are out there making films right now as we're talking?
Yeah, I mean, in just the upstate area this past year, past 365 days, we've had several feature films being shot. We do our own film challenges with our film bar group, and so we've got short films getting shot all the time. I just was asked to be on 3 of them to help out with that sound and stuff like that. There's one being shot this weekend, and there's actually a feature film that was shot up in Tryon that's going to show at the Tryon International Film Festival for their premiere. And so it's a great one to go see and be a part of and realize like it's happening right here, right in our backyard.
When you say there's a movie shooting this weekend, will they literally, you hear 6 months shoots for some of these movies.
Yeah.
Will they literally shoot it in a weekend?
This one is a short film. So yeah, it would just be the weekend. This is part of the Second Act Film Festival, which happens in Columbia, which is another film challenge that gets put out to the community and people jump on it. And the fact that we have this community built up, that we can pull together a crew so easily is really awesome. So it's a great place to film. We have professionals, we have beginners, we have people in so many different fields that it's easy around here to get something shot and done. So if you got an idea, let's get a shot.
Well, let's find out where people get started. First of all, you mentioned the bar, and I think this is a really cool concept. First of all, how did it start?
Film Bar itself started in Atlanta, but several other cities like Jacksonville and Tampa, and now Greenville have their own. We started about 4 years ago, and we just wanted basically to have some friends because it can be kind of solo work sometimes when you're out there doing commercials for small businesses. But we wanted people to shoot films with. We wanted friends. We wanted coworkers or whatever. So just started meeting every Monday night. We changed it now to Film Bar Greenville. It's not Film Bar Monday, to Tuesdays. So we meet every Tuesday, and the community has just grown to over 2,000 people on Facebook, and I've personally met about 500 of them. So
wow,
yeah,
that's amazing. What's the best way for people to get involved with that if they'd like to?
Yeah, go to filmbar.org and just check out our schedule, and you can see where we meet up and come hang out.
I want to make sure I mention that now. So you got people that are coming that just might be movie fans who just have always wanted to take their shot at it. I mean, experience is not required.
Absolutely not, no. We've had people come into the group with just saying, hey, I want to do this, and a year later, it's their full-time job. So they just jumped in full dive and really made it happen for themselves. So,
can you tell us, are there any stories, you don't have to name names necessarily, that people who maybe came in and walked in the door like that, no experience, but maybe a love or a passion for it, who are now very prolific at working on the kinds of productions you're talking about?
Yeah, I can think of like 3 or 4 specifically that, it's what they do now. And in different fields. One's grip, one's acting, and one is just more camera stuff, so like that. But it's what they do. It's what they love, and we're able to find a community here to make that happen. And with that experience that they've grown and built over time working with friends, they're getting on all these professional shoots, and you have to travel to Charlotte or Columbia or sometimes Atlanta, but there's still a lot going on right here as well.
When you talk about what's going on right here, you mentioned short movies that could be shot in a weekend. What kind of movies are these? Yeah,
the short films just range. I mean, we issue with the Film Bar group a challenge. So some of it's with your phone, some of it's, do a Wes Anderson style, or some of it's do a rom-com with an unhappy ending. So we've had all kinds of different styles. Just challenges, just put that out there.
That won't get on Hallmark.
No, but it flexes the muscles and it gets you something to put through the festival. And actually a lot of them turned out really funny and really good. So it was a fun challenge, that one. We've had several. We've had over 40-something short films in the past few years shot because of that. When people have writing ideas or an idea for a story and they don't really know where to go, what kind of help can they get? We've got several people in the group that can either help you co-write, or just like a script doctor that can help you kind of build that character development or your environmental story structure or anything like that. And just show up. I mean, that's the best thing you do. Show up, start talking to people, and once you get to know everybody, I was like, oh, wow, there's everyone here that can actually make this happen. So it just happens. Take it to one of the challenges. Maybe you adapt it a little bit to fit the challenge. And yeah. Interesting. Well, let's talk about
where you want to see a lot of these productions end up in March of 2026, because it's going to be coming back around, the Reedy Reels Film Festival. This is a look back at the 10th edition. The one upcoming will be the 11th. How did this idea come together?
Wow. Reedy Reels started 10 years ago. We're in our 11th year now. And it was a few of our board members started it. They just loved movies and they wanted to share that passion with everyone. And it just grew and grew year over year, hand over hand. And now we're showing 70 plus films with 700 plus people coming each year. We've got 3 days at the South Carolina Children's Theater that we just pack out with as much as we can to get as many filmmakers involved and as many attendance goers that love movies or want to meet people or get into the networking game, all of it. So we've got a huge loaded up weekend.
I'm looking at just the quality of this is basically a trailer from the festival, and we're just seeing, this is really, really good looking. This is not something like a Super 8 movie camera in your backyard way back. I mean, there's some special effects and that kinds of, is in that way, in the equipment that's available, it may be more costly, of course, is a lot of this kind of work capable of being done today, maybe more than it was years ago?
Yeah, I mean, technology has gotten better, obviously, but we also have the community here with all the gear that are willing to lend it out to people to do these films. Not all these are local. Some of them are through grants that with our South Carolina Indie Grant or other grants that they've gotten. We are generally a Southeastern festival, but we are international as well. So we do take some from other places. But it's really just the game has changed, and being able to make high quality films, there's still a lot to know and learn to make this turn out better than just buying an expensive camera. A lot of expertise, a lot of crew, a lot of really talented actors that really pull it all together, and a great script, honestly. So there's still a lot more than just nice gear to make these happen. But these are essentially potentially award-winning films or already have won awards. So they're good. They're things that you would go see in the theaters.
Wow, that's cool. Tell me about maybe the idea, and again, comparing it to a big budget, which goes through all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's about a 2-year process. How quickly could an idea be launched and a film be done and ready to be seen?
Well, there's the triangle of quick, fast, and cheap.
Okay, explain that.
It still applies. So we have 48-hour festivals, and people will sign up, and they'll get their prompts and their line and their character and their prop that they have to use. They write a script, they shoot it, they edit it, all within 48 hours, and they get it out there. Now, a lot of them take that and they finish or do additional editing or sound design that they didn't have time to do afterwards, and they'll use that one to send to other festivals. But essentially, you could do it in 48 hours. I've even seen some that go shorter than that, but it gets really tight. But generally, I would say if you take about 4 to 6 weeks, shoot it over a weekend or two, and then spend some time editing, you can get a short film out with your friends and just, yeah.
Wow. If you don't know, I'm just curious about editing.
Yeah.
How long does it take to learn how to edit in general?
Oh man,
Yeah.
you're always growing. You're always getting better. You're always learning new tricks, and then they add features, and you got to learn that. But just having the creative insight to pull that together and the storytelling capabilities to pull that together can take years to get really good at it. And then you have people specialize. Some are just cutters, some are colorists, some are sound design. So you can even get really niche into just editing.
Something else right there. We are talking with Rhodes Farrell. He is the executive director of the Reedy Reels Film Festival here on Fred the Show. We'll have much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Back on Fred the Show now. Rhodes Farrell is here, the Reedy Reels Film Festival executive producer. You alluded to this a little bit earlier. I want to kind of talk about it in a little bit more terminology. The South Carolina Film Commission, starting in 2005, began offering incentives. Now, for the big production types, over $1 million, they do have some incentives involved. From 2020 to 2024, their latest numbers, in the state of South Carolina, 11 features, 21 TV series or pilots, 6 student films or documentaries, a lot of print ads, a lot of commercials, and that kind of thing. But then there's a smaller production scale, and can you explain what that is? Because this is for productions that you are probably experienced with in that $250,000, $1 million range.
Yeah, so they had $1 million cap to receive incentives, which they have really great cashback incentives. I think it's 25% for hiring local people, which is awesome. That was, for the indie world, a little harder to reach that cap. But 250, that they're making this new one where they will give you a third of your budget if you get the 250 mark, potentially, that is achievable. That's attainable. And that's something that is really exciting for the indie market to, really put out those $300,000 feature films and really get a bunch to create more movement of filmmaking in the upstate or across the state in general.
Yeah, they talk about they're looking for South Carolina-based producers who want to shoot in their home state, the way they put it. That, again, you mentioned $250,000 to $1 million cap. The cash back rebate, is that a better deal than what a lot of other states offer?
If you ask me, yes, but there are tax credits which often just get held onto and then sold to another company because those productions are not necessarily local. They're not going to be able to use those tax credits. But if you actually get a cash back credit, then you have additional, essentially more funds. And a smart way to do that would be to use those funds potentially in your marketing to really push it out. So they say you should have a third of your budget in marketing.
Interesting. All right. I want to go ahead and just put up very quickly, we'll come back to it again before the day's over, the Reedy Reels website. We're showing it right here. There's a lot of information on this. Tell what everybody can find at reedyreels.com.
Yeah, of reedyreels.com, we got one upcoming thing we have is our micro shorts. That's right there. It's a 5-minute or less short film. We're trying to push this out to high school and college students, and we have a non-student section as well. But we really want to get everyone that we can in this filmmaking game and give them opportunities to show their film and their work. But we've also got submissions open right now. Our regular deadline for the actual film festival is October 31st, and those are we've already got several in already, and we're really excited with the numbers that we're seeing right now. So it's definitely growing. Definitely go to the submissions and submit your film, and then save the app to your phone so that when you come to the film festival, you have everything right there and ready to go.
How important are film festivals, not only yours, which is number one most important one we're talking about? You mentioned Tryon a little earlier. Just how important are film festivals for the industry and for the movie fan?
To get your film in front of hundreds of people that would have otherwise not seen your film, that's a big thing. This is the reason that we make films. We don't make them to put them onto a hard drive and leave them there. We make them so that people can see them and we can share our stories. That's a great first step of getting into that, and even sometimes a final step, because you may go to Sundance and you may get noticed by a producer and then you get picked up for the next big thing. You never know. We've even had people at our film festival get to meet producers and filmmakers, and then they brought some of them to Italy to shoot a short film that was shown at the Reedy Reels Film Festival. So it happens right here.
Wow. What kinds of challenges are there out there for making films around here?
Budget, I would say, money.
Yeah.
If you want to do something bigger, then you have to get some budget. And so finding that, getting businesses to understand that filmmaking is happening around this area and that they can be a part of it, that's another challenge. But as far as finding crew and finding talent, and we've tried to eliminate that as best we can because we've got a great community here.
It must be really fun to have seen this so early from the ground floor. And how many people showed up at the first meeting?
For Film Bar?
Yeah, for Film Bar, yeah.
It was just me and Tim for a few months until someone showed up, and then the next person showed up, and I think there's only been 2 or 3 times in the past 4 years where we didn't have a new person. So it's definitely grown. People love that it's happening. People love that there's an option to create films, an option to show off your films. at the Reedy Film Festival or the Tryon International Film Festival. They love all the challenges like the 48-hour film festival or the Second Act Film Festival. It's just a growing and beautiful community that I love being a part of.
I want to hear more about the 48-hour film festival. This is really fascinating to me. What kind of, when you say that they're kind of given this challenge, can you maybe describe what kind of film it's going to be? Do they have like a certain kind of story to tell? And kind of explain how that works.
Yeah, so the South Carolina 48 Festival, which is run by the Urban League, who has a film initiative, and Ashley Crane, they essentially put out a challenge. You sign up as a team, and they give you a genre that you draw. You get a character name, you get a prop, a line to say, and I think something else, but you have to use all of those in your film. So they take that, they go off, they write Friday night, they shoot all day Saturday, they edit Sunday, and they have to get it in by 7 or 7:30 on Sunday. So
you mentioned genres. What kind of genres?
Oh, all kinds. Murder mystery, horror. There's, found footage, or just anything you can think of. They like to mix it up. It's great.
That's really cool. What are you maybe looking forward to ahead in March? And let's go ahead and talk about the festival a little bit again. What are you anticipating for number 11 in March?
We opened up, we're partnering with the South Carolina Governor's School of Arts and Humanities. They're going to host our educational sessions on Saturday. So that opens up the theater to show even more films this year. So we're excited to introduce more options for people to go see films, more options for people to go to an educational panel. And we're also opened up 2 new categories where we are accepting music videos and creative commercials, because a lot of work that happens in this area is actually creative commercials, and it's all the same muscles and all the same gear. So why not show off that work that they created? So we just wanted to represent our community right where we are with those options.
Do you see someday big careers being launched, not necessarily in front of the camera, but behind it?
Do I see?
Yeah. Do you see that people? Yeah, people who just come up and just want to be part of the community. Confusing question by me. Do you see that somebody who joined your bar?
Yeah.
And became involved with all this? Could you see them taking off into a big time career that people will hear well about all over the country?
Well, I would say that's already happened. Yeah, we've already got people that are finding their career path.
Feel free to
success.
drop some names if you'd like.
Silas Rowland recently, he got some great work that he's got lined up, being a director on several films and TV shows and documentaries. We've got
yeah, that's great, because there's so many options today. Because I know I'm veering a little bit again toward what's the big kind of movies, but with streaming and all the streaming channels that are out there, I mean, there are more ways for people to get their work seen, and maybe more opportunities to work in the business.
Yeah. We're bringing even name talent here to be a part of shows. We had Chris White and Cargo got together, and they shot a music video a year and a half ago, roughly, called "Come and Save Me," and that featured Fred Armisen. And we've got so bringing talent right here locally as well.
That's really neat. What was his reaction, or just the reaction of people coming into town and seeing what can be done here?
He gave a note actually there's a little documentary version of it, like behind the scenes, but he was just excited to see that it's not just a small town. We have a huge LED wall that we can shoot on, where that film was shot, and we've got the technology, we've got the crew, it's all the professionalism he sees out in LA here as well. So
that's awesome. Well, I want to give everybody reminders again, a couple of ways that they can get involved. First of all, we'll put the website up one more time, reedyreels.com, and they'll find all kinds of ways to get involved there, won't they?
Yeah, if you even want to volunteer, you can go to the volunteer page and sign up. If you want to buy tickets, those will be available in December. If you want to submit your film, you can submit your film and do that. You want to join our micro shorts, well, the timeline's running short on that, but please go ahead, try it out. And if you just have questions about the film, reach out to me at Rhodes@reedyreels.com. We'd love to help answer all those questions for you.
All right, we can answer them that way. And then once again, the Film Bar, tell us about how people can get involved with that.
Yeah, filmbar.org. Go to the website, find our meetup dates and our locations. They're all right there. And if you are in the film industry, we actually have a running roster that you can sign up for. It's free, and we just use that to send out to anybody that asks for recommendations for any role that they might have.
Got just a few seconds left. Do you look at where you are now and look back at the beginning and just, are you proud? Are you stunned? What's that feeling?
Yeah, all the time. No, I was working solo. I was like, God, give me some community. And then he just overdid it. So that was really bewildering that this just grew to the point that it has, and the doors it's opened for me and so many others. It's incredible.
That's terrific to hear. Rhodes Farrell with the Reedy Reels Film Festival, the executive director. Thank you for being here. I think there's some great work that's probably going on right now that we'll be seeing up on the screen in Greenville in March. Great to have you here today, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. That is Fred the Show for this week. We'll see you next time right here on WSPA Plus.